Hello, it's Carol from Life and Pig Row, and today I'm going to show you how I make my pumpkin spice. I was going to have a pumpkin latte this morning, and then I discovered that I was totally out of this really gorgeous spice that I use at this time of the year, so I thought I might as well make a new batch and show you how it's done. To make pumpkin spice you need the following ingredients. You need allspice, ground cloves, ground ginger and ground cinnamon, and last of all you need ground nutmegs. Now I know that these are not ground up. I like to keep my nutmegs whole and then grind them just before I'm going to use them, so I've ground a little bit of nutmeg here and I'm going to include that into the mix. Right, well, it's possible to scale this mixture up, but I'm just going to make one jar, and I'm going to use cinnamon first of all because I need more of cinnamon than the rest of the ingredients, and I just think it's an easier way to do it. So I actually need 3 tablespoons of cinnamon, 2 and 3. I'm just putting them into a little bowl. Right, we're on to the teaspoons now. So I want 2 teaspoons of the ground ginger. So here we go. I love ginger. So warming. 2. And I'm going to take another teaspoon of allspice. Oh, I think this is one of my favourites. I really love allspice, and it's not really a very common thing to use, so it's quite nice. That's a bit too much. I do like a lot of spice in my mix. It's not a really very common spice, so it's nice to have it and include it in this mix. Right, now we need some ground cloves. Now these are really strong, so I'm always very careful not to use too much. I can't believe I just did that. It's made my eyes water. It smells like dentists. In this mix it tastes like heaven. And here we've got exactly half a teaspoon of ground cloves, because you don't want it to taste too medicinal. Nothing worse than a dentisty pumpkin mix. And last but not least, the nutmeg, which I mentioned before, which I've ground fresh. So that's half a teaspoon of nutmeg. I'm going to give the ingredients again at the end in case you missed any of that. So then I just use one of the spoons that I've been using, give it a good mix up until it's all combining together, so there's no lumps of cinnamon or clove or allspice, so it's all looks the same, just like that. And that's basically it. I just used my pumpkin spice pot from last year and a little funnel, and then I'm just going to empty it into the jar and give it a good tap like that. That's it. Make sure it's all out. And it makes roughly about 3/4 of a jar, as you can see. Half to 3/4 of a jar, which is enough because you want it to be fresh. Now you can use that in a coffee, putting it in first with then adding your water or milk if you're having a latte. You can put it in a pumpkin pie, you can put it on ice cream, you can put it in a cheesecake, you can use that for anything. It's absolutely delicious, and it smells so gorgeous. You've just got to make it. Even if you just come into the kitchen and just give it a sniff and you don't know anything else with it, it's just the perfect seasonal spice to have in your kitchen. Thanks very much for listening. I'm Carol, and please give Life on Pig Row a like, share or subscribe. They mean a lot to us. Thank you. Bye bye. Just to recap, to make our pumpkin spice you need 3 tablespoons of cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of ground ginger, 1 teaspoon of allspice, half a teaspoon of ground cloves and half a teaspoon of nutmeg. During the video you might have noticed me using what looked like a lot more than a tablespoon of ground cinnamon. Basically what I did was accidentally use the half tablespoon measurement. So I made sure I heated it up so it was roughly a tablespoon.